Episode 5 of the Global Cities Tournament 2020 here on GeoBrax is underway. In this episode, we will be finishing the first and second rounds, concluding it all here in the fourth quadrant. Our first matchup tonight is a first round matchup between number 127 ranked Lahore, Pakistan versus the 147th ranked Dammam from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The master of the draw is in the building. What's the first category, please?
Average high temperature.
Neither one of these places would be categorized as cold. In fact, both would be categorized as well above average in heat. The average high temperature in Lahore, Pakistan is 30.75 Celsius. Dammam is 33.43. That is well above 23. Lahore, easily taking this category. They got a 1-0 lead. Second category.
Best flag.
This could be a somewhat upsetting experience for those looking here. Neither one of them is a flag. I couldn't even find a city seal or emblem from Dammam. That's just a soccer team that plays there. At least Lahore's is an emblem of the city. And for that reason, Lahore takes a 2-0 lead. On to the third category, please.
International visitors.
In terms of international visitors per year, cities that are located about here versus cities that are located about here. Although there's a heavier concentration here, this has a lot more money in it and therefore probably has more international visitors. 3.5 million per year in Dammam, 1.9 million in total for the country of Pakistan. It's an easy win. For Dammam, we're on to the fourth category, please.
Population.
And that is a wrap by about 10-1. The population of Dammam, 1.3 million. However, Lahore, 11.1 million. That is a 3-1 victory. On to the second round. Moving on to second round action, we have the first appearance of the number 8 overall seed, Chicago, United States of America. They are taking on Lahore, Pakistan. First category, please.
Cost of living. This
is probably going to be a very simple victory for the South Asian city. And it is! $1,113 worth of goods in Lahore are $5,600 in value in Chicago. 1-0 to Lahore. Second category, Senor.
Best skyline.
If we think about the Lahore skyline, it's somewhat respectable. There are about a dozen tall buildings. But then you have the skyline of Chicago from Navy Pier with John Hancock and the Willis Tower. Yeah, easy win for Chicago. 1-1. Third category.
Largest stadium.
The largest stadium in Lahore is the National Hockey Stadium, seating 45,000 people. The largest stadium in Chicago is home to the Bears. Soldier Field, 66,944. That is a 2-1 lead for the number 8 seed. Do they finish it here in the fourth?
Gross domestic product.
Oh, and do they ever finish it? 689.5 billion GDP of Chicago. Lahore, more pedestrian, 58.1. And speaking of pedestrians, they're walking their way out of the tournament because it's Chicago. On to the third round. And we're back with more first round action here in the fourth quadrant. Number 147, Luanda, Angola, versus the wild card, Dakar, Senegal. First category, please.
Traffic index.
We have the biggest mismatch that we've seen in this category so far. Luanda with an absolutely abhorrent 305.33. Dakar, Senegal, 85.82. That might be the lowest one yet. If it's not, it's pretty close. 1-0, the wild card, second category.
Crime index.
The capital city of Angola suffers from a 67.20 crime index. Pretty bad. Dakar, pretty good. 42.37. We see you, Dakar. You're up 2-0. Is it going to be a sweep?
Surface area.
The surface area of Dakar is a measly 83 square kilometers. Is that going to steal a category against Luanda? It won't. Luanda has only 116 square km, but that's enough to survive to the fourth category.
Largest stadium.
O Estádio 11 de Novembro in Luanda seats 48,500. However, the largest stadium in Dakar, very, very large, 75,000. Stade Léopold Sédar Senghor. I believe that's the first president in Senegal's history. And this is Senegal's first victory in the tournament. 3-1, Dakar to the second round. Second round action. Dakar, Senegal, the wild card facing number 63 rated Guangzhou, China. First category, please.
Tallest building.
Dakar had a surprisingly large stadium, but they have a surprisingly short tallest building, the Immeuble Kebe, 21 floors, only 75 meters. One of the shortest, tallest buildings you can imagine. The CTF Finance Center of 111 floors in Guangzhou. That is 530 meters. That's a clear 1-0 lead to Guangzhou. Can they make it 2?
Busiest airport.
Well, you got a city formerly known as Canton, which shares a harbor with Hong Kong and Shenzhen. A lot of people going through that airport, a lot of stuff going down. 69.7 million through the Guangzhou Baiyun Airport. The Léopold Senghor, the guy that named the stadium after in the previous round, his airport in Dakar only has 2.1 million. It's a 2-0 lead for Guangzhou. Do they sweep?
Purchasing power.
Yes, they sweep. Purchasing power is 212% higher in Guangzhou than in Dakar. 3-0 win. Guangzhou to the third round. We may have some split loyalties here. Number 42, Sao Paulo, Brazil, facing off against a fellow Japanese city, Nagoya, Japan, number 78 overall. Shout out to Liberdade neighborhood. First category, please.
Public transportation usage.
Well, being as ignorant as I am, I just assumed the Japanese city. Just kidding! Only about 11% usage in Nagoya. Quite surprisingly low. However, in Sao Paulo, a more respectable 30.15% of people using the bus and the light rail and the metro to get to work and school. It's a 1-0 lead for Sao Paulo. Can they make it a second?
International visitors.
You had to estimate based on the number of international visitors to Japan that went to Aichi Prefecture. Seems about 2.9 million international visitors a year going to Nagoya. Only 2.3 million international visitors to Sao Paulo. That's a 1-1 draw. Category 3.
Surface area.
You have a very large surface area. One of them, 1,521 square kilometers. Surface area of the other one is 326 square kilometers. And yes, Sao Paulo has the larger one. They're up 2-1. Fourth category, if you will.
Population.
You have the largest population in South America, 12.3 million. Nagoya, 2.3 million. That's a 3-1 win for Sao Paulo. On to the third round. Second round continues here with number 68 ranked Doha, Qatar, versus the number 28 overall seeded team, Frankfurt am Main, Germany. Begin.
Largest stadium.
One of these is about to host the World Cup, so clearly they're not winning this category. The Khalifa International Stadium of Doha, 45,416. The Waldstadion, Frankfurt, 48,500. A slight win, but a win nonetheless. That's 1-0 Frankfurt. Category the second, please.
Busiest airport.
You know, with all of the advertisements we see for Qatar Airways, clearly they also lose here. The Hamad International had 35.4 million passengers, but the Frankfurt am Main FRA 70.6 million. 2-0 lead for Frankfurt. Can they sweep?
Public transportation usage.
Public transportation usage in Doha, approximately 1.8%. They have a bus route, doesn't mean you use it, but it's there. 31.58% usage in Frankfurt. That is a 3-0 sweep to the German city. More second round action here. Number 22 overall seed, Vienna, Austria versus the number 98 ranked Suzhou, China. First category, Mr. Master of the Draw.
Traffic index.
These are both very low. I feel bad for whoever loses. Losing score was 77.79. Winning score was 71.73. Suzhou, China has the lower one. They take a 1-0 lead. On to the second category, please.
Tallest building.
The tallest building in Vienna is the Donau City Tower 1. It's 60 floors tall, 220 meters. Respectable. The tallest building in Suzhou has 95 floors. It's called the International Finance Square. It's 450 meters tall. Yeah, it's 2-0. All right, can Vienna come back?
Surface area.
Vienna cannot come back. 415 square kilometers. Suzhou. Yes, 8,488 square kilometers. And they're just laughing their way to the third round on that one. All right, y'all. Time for the next matchup. We got our second round action here. We got 119 ranked Kolkata, India, formerly known as Calcutta. And number 47 ranked Dallas, United States of America, Texas. First category, please.
Surface area.
So the surface area of Kolkata, India, 206 square km. But for Dallas, Texas, 383 square km. That's a 1-0 lead to Dallas. Second category, please.
International visitors.
Unfortunately for Dallas, this is international visitors, not total visitors. About 780,000 international visitors to Dallas, 2.8 million to Kolkata. It's a 1-1 tie. Third category, please.
Annual rainfall.
Dallas is pretty much as mediocre as you can get in this category, 917 millimeters per year. But you got Kolkata, India, in Bengal, in the Brahmaputra Delta, the Gangetic Plains, 1,585 millimeters per year. That's a 2-1 lead for Kolkata. Can they finish it in 4?
Highest elevation.
Remember what I just said about the river deltas and the plains? 9 meters. 9 meters for Kolkata. 131 for Dallas. I don't think they expect to win that too often. But they do here. 2-2 draw. First category 5 of the night. Who takes it?
Population.
Kolkata to the third round. 4.5 million. Dallas, 1.3 million. 3-2 to Kolkata. We return to the first round. We have Monterrey, Nuevo León, Mexico, number 105 ranked, versus the wild card, Panama City, surprisingly enough, located in Panama country. First category, please.
Average high temperature.
Both of these cities got decently close to the target of 23 Celsius. 28.08 in Monterrey, average high monthly temperature. In Ciudad de Panama, 27.33 by less than 1 degree. Panama City with the first category, number 2.
Gross domestic product.
Gross is the way that the Panamanians would describe this result. 140 billion per year, pretty decent for Monterrey. The entire country of Panama, 68.5 billion GDP. We are tied at 1. Third category, please.
Surface area.
The surface area of Monterrey, 325 square kilometers. Ciudad de Panama, 275. 2-1 lead for Los Regios. Can they advance in 4?
Purchasing power.
This is absurdly close. The purchasing power is 7.56% higher in Monterrey, who wins the category, wins the matchup in 4. They're going to the second round. We have the return of Monterrey here in the second round. They are facing now the number 52 ranked Lisbon, Portugal. First category, please.
International visitors.
There are 3.5 million visitors approximately internationally to Lisbon on an annual basis. Looks like more about 365,000 for Monterrey. Clear victory for Lisbon. That's a 1-0 lead. Second category.
Largest stadium.
Alright, so we have a stadium that hosted the UEFA Champions League final multiple times. Estadio da Luz, 64,642. Largest stadium in Monterrey, and technically not located in Monterrey, but because the street that goes into the stadium is still in the city limits, it counts. Estadio Universitario, 42,000. Not good enough. It's a 2-0 lead to Lisbon. They finish in 3.
Highest elevation.
Well, the highest point in Lisbon is about 7 meters above sea level. Well, the Red Hills take this one. 540 meters in elevation in Monterrey. They're close to 2-1. Can they bring us to a 5th category?
Best flag.
Well, as we see here, we have a plain white background with 2 human beings that look like maybe they were done on MS Paint in the 90s. Whereas the Lisbon flag has this very interesting black and white alternating, not even stripes, it's just like flipped triangles with alternating patterns. Pretty cool. The coat of arms is nice. Yeah, Lisbon's going to win that one. They're going to win the entire round 3-1. They're going to the 3rd round. Gotta stay loose, gotta stay limber. Number 77, Cape Town, South Africa here in a 2nd round matchup against the number 9 overall seeded Singapore. First category, please.
Public transportation usage.
I have actually been on both of these systems, and to the surprise of nobody in the GeoBrax community, easy win for Singapore. 3.66% usage in Cape Town. Singapore is 61.94% usage. It is incredible how good their public transportation is. 1-0 lead to Singapore. Second category, please.
Best flag.
No, I want to point out again, this is a subjective category. If we look at the flag of Cape Town, first of all, it's an actual flag. Singapore is just a city seal, although it does have 2 lions, and it uses the motif of the 5 stars and the crescent moon. I really like the colorful pattern on the left part of the Cape Town flag. If that were just the entire flag without these really boring words across it, is an easy victory for Cape Town. However, because it's just such a nice logo to me, I'm going to give him the category because it's technically a flag. Everything else is equal. It's the flag. We're tied at 1. Third category, please.
Annual rainfall.
Master of the Draw has selected a city that literally ran out of water during a drought in 2018. Versus a city in Southeast Asia that has some of the most torrential downpours imaginable. 2-1 to Singapore. Official number is 2,273 millimeters against 579. Does Singapore finish it in 4?
Largest stadium.
And they will not be known as Singapore. Largest stadium, Singapore National Stadium, 52,897. Cape Town Stadium, also hosted a World Cup recently, 58,309. You know what that means? Category 5!
Gross domestic product.
I gotta say, that is not what Kopstad wanted to see. The gross domestic product, the entire Western Cape province of South Africa is about 117.2 billion. GDP of Singapore, 374.4. Singapore in 5. They're going to the 3rd round. Well, as you just saw on that graphic, we are halfway through this episode, 7/8 of the way through the first and second rounds. Let's continue here with the number 11 overall seed, Sydney, Australia, against the capital of Turkey, number 84 ranked Ankara. First category, please.
Highest elevation.
Highest elevation of Sydney, 36 meters. Highest elevation of Ankara. As you can see, there are plenty of mountains there, 938 meters. That's a 1-0 lead to Ankara. Can Sydney pull it back? Second category, please.
Annual rainfall.
415 millimeters per year. It's not going to get it done against too many cities. And Sydney says, well, we have 1,213 millimeters of rain per year, and we just tied it at 1. Do we take a 2-1 lead in the third category?
Population.
This is actually pretty close. Population of Ankara, 4.5 million. But there is, in fact, a city in Australia with 5.4 million. That city is Sydney. 2-1 lead to Sydney, Australia. Do they take it in 4?
Best skyline.
So Ankara has very solid, if not impressive, skyline. Yeah, that's all I need to say about that. The skyline in Sydney, from the view from Sydney Harbour, you have Miss Macquarie's Chair, you have the Sydney Harbour Bridge, you have the Sydney Opera House, and you have a lot of really cool buildings. What I'm trying to say here is Sydney to the 3rd round. Number 93, Wuhan, China here in the second round, taking on number 60, Helsinki, Finland. First category, please.
Public transportation usage.
Well, as we know, those Nordic countries do things the right way when it comes to public transportation. 46.25%. They're obviously going to lose the first category. Wuhan. There are a lot of people riding on their metro, and quite a few on their bus. About 52% usage. That's a win for Wuhan. 1-0 lead. Second category, please.
Cost of living.
If I had $2,076 worth of goods in Wuhan, that would have cost me $4,200 worth of goods in Helsinki. That is a 2-0 lead for Wuhan. Do they sweep?
Average high temperature.
They have a city located way up here versus a city located about here. Yeah, average high monthly temperature for Helsinki is 8.42. It's 21.15 for Wuhan. That's a sweep. Wuhan to the 3rd round. Continuing with the second round here in the 4th quadrant, we have number 36 ranked Bangkok, Thailand against number 71 Budapest, Hungary. First category, please, Mr. Master of the Draw.
International visitors.
This is a blowout. It's not really Budapest's fault. They have 3.8 million visitors from overseas or over land borders every year. But 24.2 million international visitors a year to Bangkok. That is a 1-0 lead to the Thai capital. Second category.
Busiest airport.
The Suvarnabhumi Airport, BKK, in Bangkok. 63.4 million passengers a year, a massive hub of air traffic. The Ferenc Airport in Budapest has 16.2 million. Again, respectable numbers from Budapest. They're just not respectable enough. 2-0 lead for Bangkok. Did they finish it here?
Average high temperature.
You don't expect Central European cities to win these. 15.5 Celsius. But sometimes it's just too hot. Sometimes it's too hot. 32.75 Celsius. 15.5 is closer to 23. You can do the math. You can check me if you want. 2-1 lead for Bangkok. Go to the fourth category.
Cost of living.
I mean, it's in Southeast Asia. This is clearly over. Just kidding! $8,258 of goods in Budapest would actually cost you $10,000 in Bangkok. Yeah, you learned something. We also learned that this is going 5.
Traffic index.
Traffic index of Budapest, 143.15. Traffic index of Bangkok, 217.23. I think we just witnessed an 0-2 comeback. Budapest to the third round. Continuing here in the first round, we have an all-Asian matchup. Number 135, Surabaya, Indonesia, from the island of Java, against number 140, Yangon, Myanmar. Neither one of these is a wild card, but who's going to take a 1-0 lead?
Surface area.
Surface area of Yangon, 599 square km. That's more than 327. And 1 is more than 0. That's the lead. Second category, please.
Population.
The population of Surabaya, 2.9 million. A lot of people living on Java. 5.1 million in Yangon, however. 2-0 lead. Does Yangon take it in 3?
Best flag.
Well, we see here Yangon actually has a flag, whereas Surabaya has a city emblem. However, the flag of Yangon is depressing. They picked 3 different dark shades of colors. The red, the blue, the green all run together. No brightness used, whereas beautiful yellow and blue, some sort of fish swimming around a monument. I'm giving it to Surabaya, why not? Category 4, please.
Public transportation usage.
About 12.5% of people are using the bus in Surabaya. It's more like 1 in 4, 25% in Yangon. And they won 75% of the categories in this matchup. That means Yangon to the second round. Yangon returns for their second round tilt against the number 19 overall seed, Toronto the 6th. Canada, first category, please.
Cost of living.
If you'd imagine it'd probably be a little bit more expensive to live in Canada, and for once, your imagination is correct. $3,528 worth of items in Yangon would cost you $6,400 if you were living in Toronto. It's a 1-0 lead. Can Yangon keep it rolling?
Crime index.
46.19 against 40.50. Toronto's is 40.50. They take it to a 1-1 draw. Third category, please.
Purchasing power.
They got blown out in cost of living, but they really turned the tables here. 919% higher in Toronto. 2-1 lead. Fourth category, please.
Tallest building.
Well, that's going to be all she wrote for Yangon. Tallest building there is Diamond Inya Palace, 34 floors, 122 meters tall. Tallest building in Toronto, 72 floors, 298 meters tall. That is currently the first Canadian place, and they're actually building even taller ones as we speak. 3-1 win for Toronto. They're on to the third round. In the final first round matchup in Europe, number 89 ranked Kyiv, Ukraine against the wild card, Lyon, France. First category, please.
Surface area.
This is a major win for Kyiv. Lyon, only 48 square kilometers. 839 square kilometers. Kyiv, 1-0 lead. Do they make it 2?
Gross domestic product.
GDP of Kyiv, surprisingly, only 36.5 billion. Lyon, also not very large, 88.2 billion. But that's larger. We have a 1-1 draw. Third category, please.
Best flag.
Well, here you have an angel with wings and a sword. Not sure what this has to do with Kyiv or any city, but Lyon means lion in French, and there's literally a French lion on the flag with 3 fleurs-de-lis. I just like a lot more. I mean, a lot more. Lyon with a 2-1 lead. They take it in 4.
Public transportation usage.
29.15% in Kyiv, 29.62% in Lyon, and they just barely eke out the fourth category. It's good enough to move on to the second round. And the most highly anticipated of all the second round matchups, the debut of the number 32 seeded Houston, United States of America, Texas, against the wild card, Lyon, France. First category, please, Mr. Master of the Draw.
Cost of living.
If you had $3,712 in this city, it would cost you $3,800 in the other. Houston, Texas, slightly cheaper. That's a 1-0 lead for Houston. Second category, please.
Traffic index.
That is not going to be 2-0 lead for Houston. 207.92. Not good, but not the worst we've ever heard. 118.49. Very good. Lyon, France ties it at 1. Third category, please.
Tallest building.
The Tour in City of Lyon, 200 meters tall, 39 floors. The tallest building in Texas, the J.P. Morgan Chase Tower, 75 floors tall, 305 meters tall, and the world's largest pentagonal prism, 2-1 lead in Houston. Category 4, please.
Purchasing power.
Well, as we know, the city that wins cost of living very rarely wins purchasing power, except here, Houston, 83.9% higher purchasing power. On to the third round. We are continuing here with more second round coverage. We have number 69 ranked Lima, Peru, against number 44 ranked Taipei, Taiwan. First category, please.
Surface area.
Surface area of Taipei, 272 square km. Surface area of Lima, Peru, 2,672. It's a 1-0 lead for Los Limeños. Do they make it 2-0?
Crime index.
He put a South American city against Taiwan. 13.48 Taipei, 69.92 Lima, 1-1 draw. You know how it goes. Third category, please.
Average high temperature.
Both of these are very close to the target. 24.83 Celsius is the losing score at a target of 23. That's because Lima, Peru's average high monthly temperature is 22.33. That's the closest we've seen to 23 so far. They're up 2-1. Does Lima take the matchup in 4?
Cost of living.
$5,621 worth of goods in Lima would cost you $11,000 in Taipei. That's a 3-1 win for Lima. They move on to the 3rd round. We've made it to the final first round matchup with only 2 second round matchups to go. Final first round matchup here. Number 140 Khartoum, Sudan against the wild card Algiers, Algeria. First category, please.
Best flag.
As you see here, we have 2 city logos. No flags to be seen. However, we have a black ringed circle with some strange iconography, green and yellow clashing with a white background and black. Don't quite understand what Khartoum is going for. We have an interesting coat of arms with a couple of mystical creatures, a sailing ship, and a castle on top with green and blue. Better color scheme, more interesting. 1-0 lead to Algiers. Second category, please.
Busiest airport.
The Khartoum International Airport, KRT, 3.1 million passengers per year. However, Houari Boumediene Airport in Algiers, 7.6 million. That's a 2-0 lead. Does Algeria sweep the final first round matchup?
Best skyline.
Skyline of Algiers, nothing stand out about it. It has a lot of decently tall white condominiums with the Mediterranean Sea close by. It also has the memorial to the martyrs on a hill behind. But Khartoum has absolutely nothing to offer here. That's a 3-0 sweep. Algiers closes the first round with the sweep. They're on to the second. Well, dear GeoBrox viewers, we have finally finished the first round. Plenty of second round action yet to come. Just kidding, 2 more. Then we're done with the second round. And we're done with episode 5. This matchup is number 53, Mumbai, India, against the wild card, Algiers, Algeria. First category, please.
Cost of living.
$1,198 worth of goods will cost you $1,600 in Mumbai, meaning it's cheaper to live in Algiers than it is in Mumbai. 1-0 lead to the wild card. Can they keep it rolling?
International visitors.
This is my they can't keep it rolling dance. Don't know why it looks like this, but it does. 10.6 million a year in Mumbai. 2.4 million in total to the entire country of Algeria. Easy victory for Mumbai. Tied at 1. Third category, please.
Average high temperature.
Average high monthly temperature of this city on the Mediterranean with a nice Mediterranean breeze versus Mumbai here. Very close to the equator. It's 31.5 in Mumbai, 22.83. That is the closest I've seen to the target. Algiers on the doorstep of the 3rd round with a 2-1 lead. Do they take it in the 4th?
Purchasing power.
Can Algiers pull a Houston and win cost of living and purchasing power? They cannot! Purchasing power is 98.8% higher for those who live in Mumbai than for those who live in Algiers. We have ourselves a 5th category to decide it. What's it going to be?
Surface area.
603 square km in Mumbai. 363 square km in Algiers. Mumbai survives in 5 to go to the 3rd round. And finally, the long-awaited debut of number 67 overall ranked Manila, Philippines versus the number 2 overall seed, London, England, United Kingdom. Winner of this closes the 2nd round, closes episode 5. First category, please, Mr. Master of the Draw.
Largest stadium.
There are some pretty large stadiums in the surroundings of Manila. But in Manila itself, it is the Rizal Memorial Stadium. Very puny, 12,873. This kind of seems like a waste for London to have this category right now, but the new Wembley Stadium is 90,000, an easy 1-0 lead for London. Do they make it 2?
Purchasing power.
They make it 2. 314% higher. Can London sweep?
Tallest building.
Certainly London will take this. The Shard, 87 floors, 310 meters. Goodbye to 318 meters? That's a hotel. Grand Hyatt Manila, 66 floors, that's a hotel. It's 8 meters taller? Alright, category 4.
Traffic index.
We're talking a European megacity. 155.50 for London, but we're also talking an Asian megacity. 258.72 for Manila. Number 2, London. Gonna close out this episode by going to the 3rd round. They'll take on Mumbai. From all of us here at GeoBrax, we thank you for continued support. That was the first and second rounds. Future episodes will be shorter because the rounds will have less cities involved. We're down to 64. As always, follow along the tournament right here on Discord. And on behalf of myself, GeoBrax, and the Master of the Draw, who is still not a robot, thank you guys, and please subscribe.